CM Punk has been back in WWE for a while now, and it looks like he wants his wife to join him because CM Punk never wants to leave. He says he will stay at WWE hopefully for the rest of his career, and that if they had this locker room 10 years ago, he would never have left in the first place. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and CM Punk has been doing a lot of talking recently in an interview. He's got a big SummerSlam match coming up against Drew McIntyre, and he was talking about his wife, about the locker room backstage, and about the possibility of him starting a faction. So let's get the faction thing over with straight away. Now, during an interview with Ringside Collectibles, CM Punk was asked about the possibility of a faction because I guess it's being rumoured. Some people believe we could see a new group with CM Punk leading it. Who would be in the group? I've seen names such as the Good Brothers, which to me, that's the last thing we want to see. I've also seen Cora Jade's name be tossed in there. That is a possibility. But CM Punk said regarding a group, quote, "I am not going to say no. Never say never. I don't see it happening in the foreseeable future, but you never know what is going to happen." End of quote. Look, we've seen some CM Punk groups in the past, and I think they worked, okay? I think that the New Nexus was decent for a while, and then CM Punk just kind of distanced himself from that. I think the Straight Edge Society was very good also, but at this point of CM Punk's career, I just view him as a singles guy. I think once you get to the top of the card, once you're like the top guy in the company or one of the top guys in the company, it's kind of difficult to go back to being in a faction. And for me, I don't think CM Punk should be in a faction. I don't think that's the right way to use CM Punk. And by his answer, I don't think that he is going to be starting one anytime soon. Now, he was also asked about his wife and would he like his wife to return to WWE, and is AJ Lee interested in a return to WWE, and would that complicate things? Could they have an on-screen relationship? And CM Punk responded to this saying, quote, "I'm the wrong guy to ask those questions about. I know there's a lot of that out there. I certainly am not pushing her to do anything. I think she knows that there's options. I think she sees how happy I am and how things are different. But if the right situation presented itself, it would have to be a discussion between her and certain people. I don't necessarily want to be in the middle of that just because it could get kind of weird. Selfishly, yes, I would love to make out with my wife on television again." End of quote. Now, I think there's a lot of people that would like to see AJ Lee return, especially when you look at Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. They basically just say that, AJ Lee was their inspiration and that's why they got in the business. So maybe if AJ Lee came back, could there be a three-way women's faction with them? I mean, possibly. If she is coming back, though, I'm not convinced it'll be a full-time run. I think it might be something similar to what we've seen with Beth Phoenix when she came back to obviously team up with Adam Copeland, her husband. So if AJ Lee returns, I think it could be more of a one-off thing, or maybe like a sporadic thing, like Trish Stratus when she came back. I think there's definitely ways for the legends to come back, but AJ Lee, I doubt she's going to come back and do a full-time run because CM Punk's not even doing a full-time run, and I'm not a big fan of people just being on screen because they're married in real life. Where do you draw the line in that? So if AJ Lee comes back, her and Punk need to automatically, be on screen and be married on screen. But what if Buddy Murphy re-signs? Does that mean that they just drop the whole Rhea Ripley Dominic thing? Do you know what I mean? I think they need to separate that. You need to separate real life from sports entertainment, and I don't like the fact that now, they did a good job of this back in the day. A lot of times you'd see people dating or people would be married, but they'd be separated. And I know McMahon got a lot of shit for that because he kind of did it on purpose. He would want to split people up so they're not on the same shows. But I think it worked better back then. Nowadays, everybody is literally on screen with their wife or with their girlfriend, and I don't think it's good. You can have a career and you don't have to be involved with the person you're married with, So I mean, it is what it is. I get it, Austin did do it with Deborah back in the day, but yeah, I kind of prefer it when the wrestlers are not together, you know. So anyway, is what it is. But let's move on then to the last topic here, where CM Punk spoke about the locker room, and he says that if it was like this when he left, he would never have left. CM Punk says, quote, "Creatively speaking, this is the most fruitful creative locker I have ever been in, where ideas aren't being shot down and people are eager to share ideas. Somebody someday could have a brilliant idea that I have the blinders on and couldn't see it, but I would be receptive to ideas as long as they are good." Yeah, absolutely. To a point where I almost don't like talking about it because everyone thinks I'm just like towing the company line, you know? But I know if this place is the way it was now, I wouldn't have left 10 years ago. This is the most basic way I can explain it. Really exciting. End of quote. So, I mean, CM Punk claiming if today's locker room was in place 10 years ago, he wouldn't have left. That just seems a little bit cheap for me. So CM Punk says he's going to be like almost dictated by the people around him. I mean, does that say more about the locker room, or does he maybe mean the leadership in terms of the guys at the top? But I'm not convinced. I think back then CM Punk just wanted out of WWE, and I don't think that people. I don't think, depending on who was on the roster or who was backstage, I can't imagine that would have made much of a difference. I don't think that if the guys that are on the show today, I don't think Sami Zayn being backstage would have, that would have kept CM Punk in the company. I don't think he would have stayed because Kevin Owens was backstage or something like that. So, yeah, I think it's CM Punk. He is kind of kissing the ass, in my opinion. I know he's not got many chances left, and he's burnt his bridges with WWE before, but he came back. He's burnt his bridges with AEW. I just do not see how he can go back there. So I think CM Punk kind of knows that. And he knows he can't fight. He knows there's no MMA career. He can't fight for shit. So I think CM Punk probably realises that he has to make it work this time. And I think he is, kissing the ass a little bit. I think he's been a lot nicer about the company than he really feels. But anyway, that's how I feel. Let me know what you guys think down below. But CM Punk claiming that he wouldn't have left 10 years ago had this locker room been in place. So, yeah, I don't know. Is that a dig at the former locker room leaders? I just don't see how CM Punk can prefer this locker room than the locker room that he previously shared with the likes of Cena and The Undertaker and Kane and, guys like that. But, yeah, no, apparently he prefers his new locker room. I don't, but CM Punk does. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.